like a surgeon.
Yeah. Well, Plummer, we just got done talking about the movie Weird, the Al Yankovic story. And that was a lot of fun, and we wore the very festive Hawaiian shirts. But now we're going to talk about something a little more dour and depressing. Yeah! So if you'll excuse us, fans of the show, we're going to have to do a brief wardrobe change. Seriously, though, I'm going to put on a different shirt. Well, those festive shirts are no longer appropriate to talk about the next film. This was your idea.
Yankovic ends.
Yankovic Begins, the Dark Yankovic.
Well, the last one was Yankovic Kills.
Yankovic. Oh no, the Halloween. I went Batman. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're here to talk about Halloween Ends. You just watched it.
I did just watch it. Last week I was watching dozens of Halloween movies, and Halloween Ends was like, watch me. And I was like, no. And then I did. Actually, I watched Halloween Kills first because I had not watched it yet.
Oh, boy, you're a sucker for punishment.
Oh, I hated it. No,
Evil dies tonight.
There were a couple of good moments to it, but oh my god, there's a giant lynch mob that keeps. One guy says "Evil dies tonight" once, and then they're all like, "Evil dies tonight, let's do it."
Yeah.
And so, spoilers. Michael Myers killing all the firemen, pretty cool.
That was the beginning was really good.
Yeah.
That was really neat, and it looked cool too, stylish wise. Yeah.
And I liked. So I'm just setting up Halloween Kills real quick. So he kills a bunch of firemen. He goes and Laurie's in the hospital, and she's like, "He's coming for me." And when she realizes, like, oh, he doesn't actually care about me, she's like, "Oh well, you know,
yeah."
And then it ends with him. Well, in the middle, he keeps killing members of the lynch mob.
Yeah.
Who are like, let's go after him in groups of 2 or 3.
And then
that'll work well.
They circle around him at the end, and like nobody shoots him in the face.
They did shoot him in the face.
Did they?
I don't know. They shot him a
bunch of times in the chest. The other problem with that is they established that he's vaguely supernatural and that like he's evil incarnate. And
well, they drop him down. So the end of the movie, end of Halloween Kills, which you should not watch, is they drop him down to the ground. And they hit him with a bunch of bladed weapons and objects
and just kick him and
he
shoot
looks
him
like
a bunch.
He's dead. And then it cuts to Laurie, who's like, I realized somehow while in this hospital that Michael Myers isn't mortal. He feeds on fear, and the more fear, the stronger he is. Yeah. And then he rises up and kills like 20 people from the lynch mob.
Yeah.
And then cut
teleports.
Halloween Ends.
No, hold on. Remember, you're forgetting the most important part about that ending. He teleports behind the police lines into the house where Laurie Strode's daughter is standing by the window.
Oh, and murders her.
And then murders her in front of the mom in the window.
Rest in peace, Pam Grier.
Yeah, wrong Grier. But, he like teleports because everybody's milling around because that's the crime scene.
Right.
And he like teleports behind her. Why the daughter shouldn't have been in through the crime scene anyway.
Well, she was just standing in the window.
Yeah. How much for that Strody in the window?
And so when Halloween Ends, it's Laurie going.
It's 4 years later.
When Halloween Kills ends, it's Laurie saying he's powered by fear. And then when Halloween Ends begins, it's Laurie going, it's 4 years later. I moved out of the woods, I stopped training, I stopped drinking, and I bought a house. First of all, how do you have the money to buy a house?
Daughter's life insurance policy.
Oh, man. And her granddaughter lives with her, and she's like, Grandma, I'm rebellious.
So the biggest problem with this whole setup for Laurie Strode is the whole point of the Halloween was it 2018 when I don't remember the first one in this trilogy.
Right.
She was afraid that he would come back after like 40 years, and she doomsday prepped on just the chance that he might get out. He's definitely out, and he definitely murdered your daughter in front of you. And 4 years later, she's like, "Yeah, it's fine. I'm over it."
Yeah. And
like,
so
it doesn't make any sense, though. Like,
I forgot how it actually begins.
Oh,
which is with a child being murdered in a door-kicking accident.
Yep. No, it's not really murder. It's an accident.
Child being manslaughtered in a door-kicking accident.
That kid fucking deserved it. That kid was a little prick. You know what? Yeah.
You know, any movie that starts with a kid dying, I'm automatically giving it a little bump.
Okay.
And then
But the thing is, the effect of the kid dying was so bad because like the dummy hit the ground wrong, so like it hit and it looks like a good splat, but then it like bounces back up and falls the other direction.
That's just how children bounce.
That's how. No, it's not.
Are you sure?
Yeah, their bones aren't fully fused. They're soft. They jelly. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that just might be babies. All right, that's a dark turn for this. So it starts with like this dweeb name. I believe his name is Corey Cunningham.
Cunningham?
I think that's his name.
Oh man.
Yeah. And CC, like Michael Myers, the movies thinks it's clever. And yeah, so he gets trapped in this room. The kid makes him think that Michael Myers is coming, traps him in the attic space. He kicks the door down. Kid's on the other side of the door, flips over the railing, falls like 3 stories and dies.
And then we get Laurie's, in the last 4 years, I moved into this house, and then for the next 42 minutes, nothing happens.
Yeah, no, that's not true. Corey gets bullied by band geeks.
Oh yes, marching band members bully this kid, this 23 to 24-year-old engineering student.
Who is, by the way, like several inches taller than them and much clearly broader of shoulder than them.
But
who has a taste for child blood. No.
And you forgot he wears glasses, so he's not.
Ah, yeah, he's a dweeb.
So for the next 42 minutes, he gets bullied by band geeks. Laurie Strode rescues him by threatening these children.
I know.
This geriatric woman scares these children away.
Yep.
And then she decides to take him to the hospital where her granddaughter works. In order to sex bait her.
Yeah.
And it works.
It works. That's not a joke. That did happen.
42 minutes into the movie, he gets pushed off of a bridge by the band geeks.
Doesn't. Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Because he's
you're
still.
Right,
you forget he doesn't start driving the motorcycle until he decides not to wear his glasses anymore. A wonderful idea. But this actor is so wooden up to this point that like I talked to someone who actually liked the movie, and they said they thought he should be that wooden. I was like, wrong. But
what is there for me to like about him? There's nothing for me to like.
There's nothing to like other than killing a kid, which is kind of funny.
45-minute mark or whatever, 42, he gets dragged into the sewers where it turns out Michael Myers has been living in the sewers.
He gets pushed off a bridge, dragged into a sewers, and he makes eye contact with Michael Myers.
So what's terrible about the hideout, too, is it looks like a place that you would search for a killer.
And there are bums living outside of it who are aware that he is in there.
That's true. The one guy definitely knows. Costs him everything.
He gets shaved with by accident.
Yeah, it's just...
I know where Michael Myers is.
Sure you do, old homeless, lives under the bridge by the sewer entrance, Joe.
You're pretty judgmental for a guy who lives under a bridge.
I hate it. Yeah, and then...
but so he makes eye contact with Michael Myers, and they like have this connection, and Michael Myers is like decrepit and weak, and it's like, but they just made it clear that he was powered by fear. And he kills 20 fucking people. And they're not more afraid of him than ever after that?
And didn't the homeless guy say like sometimes he brings people in there and they don't come out?
Right.
So hasn't he been killing in secret in the sewer? Because they set up that part. There's a part later on where he kills like that cop guy who was harassing the granddaughter.
Right.
And all of a sudden he goes like... Right,
like he's absorbing the strength.
But if he's been murdering people in secret and the town is still afraid of him, this guy should be walking through walls like the Kool-Aid Man, right?
And the other thing is,
if he's still supernatural,
but
he's not supernatural in this movie, and that's the problem. You can't. But
when he kills the cop guy, Corey is standing there watching Michael Myers, and he's like, "Show me." He's sitting there going, "Show me how to kill this man."
Show me how to do it.
And so Michael Myers stabs him with a knife, and Corey's like, yes. You didn't know how to stab someone with a knife?
Nah, his modus operandi is just pushing kids over railings.
What was that?
Michael's like, now you teach me. Yeah, you teach me. Yeah, but that's the other thing too. It's like I don't want to get too heavy into the plot by plot points because I just
they just make me mad.
It's just I'm remembering the movie. But so even when Corey and Michael, even though your mask's apart. So then when Corey shows up, he beats the crap out of Michael Myers in a sewer fight, takes his mask. And I'm like, what?
The second time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the
goes back.
order of these things. Nobody's watching this if they haven't seen the movie already.
Now, I did think that Corey going and getting revenge on all these people was pretty cool.
when the killing starts in earnest, there's some cool kills.
I like the sequence with the
Acetylene torch.
no the nurse and the doctor in the house.
Yeah, that was okay.
I liked how she got inside and Michael Myers showed up. Although you would think he would show up more after that, considering he just walked out to do this.
Yeah.
And why did he go back? No one knows.
Wouldn't he be? Yeah, like why is he going back to the sewer at this point? He's like super powerful.
But when he like picks up that lady and just pins her to the wall,
like in the
with a
first
knife.
movie, yeah.
Yeah, that
it's
was
like
awesome.
Call back to the first one. No, it's
And then the radio DJ, and then the set of the band geeks.
that was the
When
band
he
geeks.
brutally girders the band geeks
that
and
was the
his
best
uncle.
part. No, that's not the teenager kills the
Oh, with the gun.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
His father, uncle.
his father figure.
Hello,
So-
Uncle Father Blester. Uncle Father.
But like,
Oscar.
there's just too much going on. So it's
Well,
all
and then
two
then his
movies.
mom makes out with him.
yeah. She remember that? No, it's two different movies.
Oh, and then the girl's like, and then he's like, let's leave tonight. And so this girl, Laurie Strode's granddaughter, is
Yeah.
like, tries to meet him at the cafe, but he's like, I'm gonna go kill your mom instead.
Yeah.
So he goes to the Laurie Strode's
So much
house,
for evil leaves tonight.
which Michael Myers isn't even attached to.
No.
And so here's her plan at the end.
Well, that's how they get Michael Myers to the house at the end, is that he's chasing Corey. And Corey has to show up at the house, otherwise Michael can't show up at the house, and you can't have elder fights.
Okay, but I need to talk about the end real quick. So, Corey shows up at the house. Well, we don't know that Corey showed up at the house.
Right.
The daughter is like, where is he? So we know, of course, he's going off murdering someone.
Mm-hmm.
And even though she kind of knows that he's already murdering people, she still wants to leave with him.
Yeah.
And so Laurie Strode's in the house and she's drinking again. And she's like, hello, 911. She's like, my granddaughter's leaving. Hello, 911. I'd like to report a suicide. And then you hear a gunshot. And then Corey walks into the room and she shoots him. And she's like, you really think I'd kill myself? And like, first of all, yes, you just said I'd like to report a suicide. And then there was a gunshot. And then she shoots him and he falls off this railing just like the child does
Right.
and falls to the bottom. And she comes downstairs and she's like, I'm gonna, you can't take my granddaughter from, I don't even know what their conversation was. And then he's like, well, like I told you, if I can't have her, no one can. And then he kills himself. And, well, she's still alive, pal.
Right. But he does decide he's going to kill himself when he hears the granddaughter's car pull up, because she has the busted muffler throughout the whole movie, so
Right.
he hears it rattling, and then he's like, now it's going to look like you killed me and she'll hate you.
But he didn't hear, it was vaguely implied, but it wasn't even really implied. It's just like, well, she's still alive, and so someone else will have her. I don't know.
Literally anyone but you will have her.
And then Michael Myers shows up and
takes the mask back.
and snaps his throat because he's still alive after slitting his own, after stabbing a knife into his face.
Neck wounds are not fatal in this franchise, just across the board.
Didn't it like go up like?
He went like here into the side. He should at least have paralysis, you know, like even if because remember the woman in Halloween Kills gets stabbed through the throat and she's alive in this one. People are always getting stabbed in the throats in these things, like with sewing needles in the first one, remember?
Yeah.
Well, she gets him in the neck. Nobody dies from being stabbed in the throat in a Halloween movie.
But okay, so then Laurie Strode is a drunken geriatric woman, and she has a fight with Michael Myers, the sewer beast, and
Yeah, he's a serious
she ends up overpowering him and killing him.
easily, as a matter of fact.
Barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
And that is the end of the franchise. Oh, and then they have a
they-
funeral procession of hundreds of cars where they go to crush his body up forever. And it's like, did you call these people and tell them there was a funeral procession? Like, why aren't you just driving him there and crushing him? Because,
No, you just got to send out one alert on the Evil Dies Tonight app. Got him. Meet at the Crushinator. And it's like they're like putting his body over the crowd.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
very
like
Christ-like.
some kind of Christ
Yeah,
thing.
it's so stupid.
well, maybe since they saw him getting crushed, the power of fear is gone because no one's afraid of him because they saw him die, and that's why he can't come back because no one's afraid.
yeah, but this movie is like, because in the last one they kind of give him a supernatural edge to it, which I was not a big fan of. But at least if you're going to do it, follow it through. They don't even do that in this.
Well, they give it to him in every other movie.
And it's like, okay, so you set up Corey to be like your new Michael, and you don't even follow through on that promise. Like
you
they
murder him.
don't even do like a cut to the house and his body is missing now that Michael's been destroyed or something. It's like, oh, the evil did transfer. You know, just something. This franchise is like, it doesn't have to do that much for its audience, like, honestly. And to make 2 movies and slap them together into one like this is just, what? I did not like any of the stuff they did in Halloween Kills, but at least it felt like one really shitty movie instead of 2 really shitty movies.
Oh, but then I forgot the actual end, because that felt like the end, but they really Lord of the Rings us with the second ending, where...
The book?
Yeah, where she's sitting there at her table, finishing up her book.
Oh, yeah.
And it ends with her going, and Michael Myers' legacy is that no one will remember him.
And the story as we told it was to fade with time.
You just wrote a fucking book about him.
The whole book's about him. No one will ever remember Jeffrey Dahmer.
Who?
You know, the guy who shot Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
Duh. So, but he only did it to make Jodie Foster love him.
That's true.
All right. That's a lot of
remember
references
that
in that one. Yeah, there's a lot in that one. But no, it's just, I did not like it, and it's not, I didn't have fun with it. I
was miserable the whole time I watched it.
I really, so first of all, the Halloween franchise, I like the first one a lot. My parents kind of impressed upon me when I was younger. Like, it's like, you really got to watch this. Because they're like, you really got to watch, no, they were like, you need to watch Halloween so you can watch Scream. Because they loved Scream. And they're like, but none of this will make sense if you haven't seen, like, Halloween.
That's true.
So, like, you need to watch Halloween so we can sit down and watch Scream with you so we can explain to you why it's funny. And I'm like, okay, sure, why not? I don't care. And I loved the first Halloween. I think I own, like, a couple copies of it. And it's just, what an easy movie to just watch. You know, it doesn't ask a whole lot of you. There's not a lot going on. And, you know, it's just good. And then this... It's one of those things that really doesn't need a franchise around it. But if you're going to make a sequel and you're going to call it like Halloween Ends, then the first one, the 2018 one, had more finality to it and makes more narrative sense that she turns the house into his death trap prison and burns it to the ground.
That should have been the end.
Perfect finale. Because I kind of like the 2018 one, even though there's a lot wrong with it.
There's so much wrong with it.
But like...
Grandma, I don't believe that there's a person out to kill us.
But they do
like
a lot of
18 people have been murdered like on that road.
Just today. Like,
maybe my grandma's doing it.
But there was like that. The finale is pretty good. They do like the inversions of it. You know, like Michael looks over to see where Laurie and she's gone. Like it's fun enough for something that's completely unnecessary in the first place. It was fun enough, and I enjoyed it. And I did like the ending where she's like, this is where you die now.
It was bad, but it was good.
Stop him! He's supposed to die.
Right.
Is just the plot of the second movie. Stop him, he's supposed to die. But this one, I think I would have rather had just a movie, like focused either just on Corey or just on Laurie. But you can't do both, especially establishing that Laurie's no longer concerned about Michael coming back, because that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
She watched him kill her daughter. She should be more militant and vigilant. She should be going on patrols, like vigilant, you know? But I don't know. It was a miserable 2 hours of my life.
Oh, it really was.
What was that?